And the European Union agency sees risk of COVID deaths rising as Omicron subvariants spread. Welcome back. The news in details. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi on Monday asserted that the state is making the utmost efforts to control prices and to ensure the stability of fuel and energy prices amid global rising food prices. Inaugurating a dairy and livestock production complex project in Sadet City in Munofea Governorate, el-Sisi added that despite the rising cost of electrical power generation, the state is postponing a rise of power prices for citizens. The president said the newly opened livestock production projects help to avoid a jump in food prices, adding that the state aims at doubling meat production within 6 months. President el-Sisi said the state is undergoing a wide-ranging enhancement process that needs high production rates, adding that the state always welcomes the participation of the private sector in all investment fields. The president also pointed out that the Ministry of Agriculture is working with the civil society organizations towards a better governance and an increase in livestock production. President el-Sisi urged small breeding industries to increase livestock and dairy production and called for launching a program by non-government organizations to increase these products. President el-Sisi assured citizens, saying all state-sponsored projects aim to achieve community satisfaction and stability, and that the citizen is at the core of all state efforts. The president extended thanks to local wheat suppliers, adding that the state is striving to increase wheat and grain reserves up to 9 months. President el-Sisi said, "We are working hard to achieve a gross domestic product in 2-digit trillions of pounds." On the sidelines of the complex inauguration, the president opened, via video conference, several livestock projects nationwide, including a complex in Nubaria, another in the New Valley Governorate, and an automatic slaughterhouses in Safega, Red Sea Governorate. Following the inauguration ceremony, President el-Sisi inspected the livestock production complex and the affiliated training and scientific research center. During the tour, that also included the center's labs, the president listened to a detailed explanation over its activities. Also, during the inauguration of the integrated complex for dairy production in Sadet City in Munofea, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi confirmed that the state decided to postpone the implementation of the electricity price increase for the 3rd time in order to ease the burdens on Egyptians as a result of the repercussions of the global economic crisis. For his part, President el-Sisi said that he had previously spoke with Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli on the issue of the electricity prices and the implementation of the 3rd program due to global circumstances, so that there will be no burden on the people. The president also explained the beneficiaries of the postponement decision came within the framework of noting that 17 million subscribers will benefit from the decision, and added that the state is trying as much as possible to reduce the repercussions on the citizens and reduce its size. Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli held on Monday a press conference following a discussion session with a number of experts over the state ownership document. During his statement, Madbouli asserted that the government is keen on following up the points of view of experts in all domains, especially concerning the state ownership document. Madbouli added that the document determines a policy towards the state assets with the aim of reaching the utmost benefits, pointing out to the importance of boosting the role of the private sector in different fields. He also stated that the current challenges and issues impact the economy of the whole world, especially during the past 3 years. The Premier emphasized that the country has overcome several difficulties, including high unemployment rates, through its economic reform program. Meanwhile, Madbouli announced that a platform and an application on the network will be launched soon to know the opinions of citizens and experts. The Ministry of Environment and the Coptic Orthodox Church signed on Monday a cooperation protocol as the church issued a document in which it explained its stance towards environment protection. The agreement was signed by Minister of Environment Yasmin Fouad and Pope Tewodros II. The agreement aims at boosting cooperation in the field of environment issues, including environment protection and sustainable development. Libyan officials returned to the Egyptian capital for a third round of talks on constitutional amendments for elections.
Libyan officials returned to the Egyptian capital for the third round of talks on constitution amendments for elections. The North African nation once again finds itself at a political impasse with two rival administrations claiming legitimacy. The talks in Cairo come on the heels of clashes between the rival militias that caused residents of the Libyan capital of Tripoli to panic and revive the nightmares of previous bouts of fighting in the chaos-stricken nation. Lawmakers from Libya's East-based parliament and the High Council of State, an advisory body from the Western Libya, began the unbrokered negotiations amid concerted international pressure on the two chambers to put their disputes aside and agree on the election's legal basis. The UN Special Advisor in Libya, Stefan Williams, said that the talks in a Cairo hotel will continue till June 19th with the aim of establishing a constitutional framework required to take the country to national elections as soon as possible. After 11 long years of division, dysfunction, conflict, chaos and polarization, the Libyan people are exhausted. In the previous two rounds of talks, the parties came to an initial consensus on 137 articles of the constitutional draft, including rights and freedoms. The dispute over the constitutional framework of the election was among major challenges that caused planned national elections to fail in December. The failure to hold a vote was a major blow to international efforts to end the decade of chaos in Libya. It has opened a new chapter in its long-running political impasse, with rival governments now claiming power after tentative steps toward unity in the past year.
Amnesty International on Monday accused Russia